Candidate sourcing. So right now there are so many AI models and the AI softwares are available who can directly source the potential candidates from different platforms together at a real time. And right now what recruiters do, we have to log in into different softwares, and it takes so much of our time to source the right candidate according to the job descriptions that we have available.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Recruiting Revolution. Today we are joined by Ritu Baga from London. With over 6 years of extensive experience in human resources, Ritu is the Senior Human Resource Advisor and AI at Boogies UK. So it is a leading construction and property development company in the United Kingdom. And we're going to know more from Ritu herself. So welcome to the podcast, Ritu, and excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. I hope your day is going well, and thank you so much for adjusting the time according to the London. So yeah, that's a great part. Thank you so much. And
so to start off the podcast, can you let us know about more about your journey so far in the industry?
For sure. So hi everyone. So my name is Ritu Baga, and I have done my master's in business administration, specifically in human resources. And then after I started my journey from the scratch, from the HR officer position in textile industry in India itself. There, I grow towards HR business partner in the textile industry, and that was the giant name is Arvind Limited. So over there, I was working as an HR business partner, leading the things and all. Then after my journey started in the construction industry, where I got placement in the innovations department, where it was totally new for me from, human resources background to the innovations background. Now, if we talk about construction industry, still, people take it at last number. That, okay, if we talk about artificial intelligence, construction industry will take up, but very, very, very slowly. But I will say not very slow right now. Now, industries have took it up, and they are taking the considerations of different AI models, the values, the benefits of it. Yeah, still the stereotypes are there, but still they are thinking about it a lot. So that's how I have done my 6 months of placement in the construction industry. That is the HS2 project, the high-speed project over here, the high-speed railway from London to Manchester and beyond that. So 6 months gone very well over there. And then after I got an opportunity again as human resource specialist and AI in Boeings UK, Sizewell C project. Now this Sizewell C project is a nuclear power plant project. That's the biggest one in Europe right now. We can say the replica of Hinkley Point C. So over here, this nuclear project is taken over by government, the EDF client over here. So it's a very big project and very biggest opportunity, we can say, to implement so many new things in terms of digitalization, in terms of artificial intelligence, and a lot more in terms of new method and construction. Yeah. So this is whole about my journey.
Got it now. Yeah. So now we are getting straight into AI. How do you think, because you mentioned that, in construction, AI is kind of very slow, comes really slow with a construction part, which I'm also intrigued to know, because how are you applying AI in the construction space? Majorly in hiring only, but how are you implementing it?
All right. So if we talk about the, hiring part, still I will say, people are not taking AI into consideration. But if I take the opportunity to, apply AI in recruitment and hirings, let's say, so there are a lot of, opportunities available, because the projects like this big, we will have the largest employee size in coming future, because right now it's just the starting. But, the projects like this big, they will have the, giant amount of employees working on the side, even on the offices and lots of other spaces. So to, perfectly build this hiring and not to create any kind of biases, remove that kind of patterns, we can utilize AI in a much more beneficial way in terms of specifically the candidate sourcing. So if we talk about candidate sourcing, so right now there are so many AI models and, the AI softwares are available who can directly source the potential candidates from different platforms together at a real time. And, right now, what recruiters do, we have to log in into different softwares, and it takes so much of our time to source the right candidate according to the job descriptions that we have available. Even, these AI models are so much capable to identify the passive candidates who are not actively, taking part in the recruitments or in the searching of opportunities. So that's the best part. Even I have seen that the opportunities now that are coming with the recruitment models, that they are doing the screenings as well, and the assessments. Screening in terms of they automatically identify the potential candidates, the most suitable candidates according to the job description that we have already put into the system. And also they are much more capable to take the initial screening in terms of video assessment, some kind of games, because games cultures are over here. Games culture is very much into the demand. So these games are not the kind of games that we have seen, but these are specifically the competitive games in terms based upon the aptitude testing, based upon the general testing and all such stuff. So this is the best I can say, because these all part takes so much of time in the recruitment.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we take this opportunity, we can do the systems very faster. Another thing is, if you talk about, if we take the opportunity of AI models, we can eliminate, or we can potentially eliminate the biases, human biases over here. Because, we cannot say every person is similar and every person's thinking is similar. No, it's not right. So where the diversified culture exists, the human biases can, prevails. So AI models can make sure that, kind of biases like gender bias, ethnicity, race, or age biases can be eliminated, because they don't know. Whatever the data we feed into the system, that will take from there only. So this is how we can eliminate the biases as well. We can also faster the entire process of recruitment, and this is how our projects can also get benefited from that.
True. You mentioned everything that can be done, which
Yeah.
so can be termed as recruiterless hiring. So,
Yeah, exactly.
automation, because there are a lot of things that can be done through automation, and that can make recruiters' life really easier, with data analytics and automation. So, how do you think it will reshape how we hire?
So yeah, as I already told you that these are the things that, we can, we have the opportunity to, eliminate the kind of biases. We can do the entire process very fast, or at a very fast pace. But if we talk about reshaping, so, from both parties, like from the recruitment party as well, and from the job seeker party as well, this will be like a win-win situation for both of them. Because, for job seekers also, it will be like, very much faster process, and they will be, they will not face any kind of biases in terms of which I talk about earlier. And in terms of recruitment, if we talk about it, the hiring, the reshaping of the entire process, yes, we are taking much more digitalization into the process. So this is how, the current strength of the employees who are not that well versed through the term of artificial intelligence, the kind of digitalization we are talking about, they have to reskill up themselves. That, okay, these are the things now coming into the market. It will definitely not eliminate any kind of person, because, the ultimate decision-making power should be and must be in the human hands, who will be, the recruiter. But if we talk about, some kind of creative roles, the leadership roles, definitely we cannot rely completely upon the AI. So this is how, it would be like a hybrid situation. It will not completely take over the entire recruitment process and the recruitment and the kind of recruitment style that is going on right now in the entire world. But yet, it would be, yes, it would be a kind of hybrid situation, where definitely for some of the roles we can totally rely upon the the kind of AI softwares that we have. But same at the same time, for other roles like where creativity, decision making, and kind of leadership roles, the emotional intelligence where it demands, definitely it would be in human hands.
Got it. Also, you mentioned that reskilling is something that we need to do to make sure that employees are prepared for the upcoming changes.
Yeah.
From reskilling, like what all things do you think that employees should know and learn to make sure that they are still in the still they have skills, like good skills to stay in the organization, and with of course adapting AI. So what all things do employees should learn?
All right. This is a very good question, definitely, I would say, because I can share my total experience and observation where I have done the 6 months of innovations placement. So over there, my responsibility was, I will take this long, but it is very interesting to share. So the thing is, actually, my responsibilities was to analyze the current situation that is there in the the existing departments. What are the systems that they are using? What are the issues that they are facing through this current systems? And what all are the opportunities that they are thinking in their minds that, okay, we want this, we want that in the upcoming projects or like that, because this construction industry totally rely upon the different kind of projects for certain length of time. So now it was very interesting journey for me, because people have so many issues with the the old systems that they were using right now, and they have so many creative ideas, but they were not aware that, okay, to line up with their ideas, there are systems available, there are the things available, but certain things like that. The main issue is with fear of artificial intelligence, that because people have probably less, or say lack of knowledge, that what exactly artificial intelligence is. Will that augment, or will that automate? So the main task that I took over there, that I took the small sessions with the individuals, with the group of individuals, and with the large amount of employee sets, that what exactly the artificial intelligence is, how can it benefit your regular task. It will definitely not eliminate your role, but it will augment with yourselves. So now the answer of your question is, like, we cannot restrict AI to come into your roles, to come into our roles. Definitely it will come. Same like, we have to think like we were way before, like decades before, we were working on paper sheets, right? Manually. But then computers were detected, and we skilled ourselves, we reskilled ourselves to get updated with this computer data sets, kind of Excels, PowerPoint. Now when Corona came, then we all learned how to do our task virtually, right? So we learned how to do the Teams meeting, how to do the virtual meetings, how to complete the task, how to report virtually, and all such stuff. Now it became very difficult for manufacturing part, definitely, because it cannot be virtual. But now the things are coming in that part as well. Some kind of manufacturing can also be done virtually as well. So now that's a very, very critical part. Now the thing is, the main thing is, as we cannot prevent AI to come into our way, we have to think that how we can reskill ourselves. So first thing is, we have to learn about what exactly the AI is. What are the benefits that AI can give in our routine tasks? So for example, if we talk about Excel, there are so many good AI features that are now getting embedded by Microsoft, the whole suite, but Microsoft Excel, that can, give us very ease of routine task. And whatever the task that we do, let's say, in 30 minutes or 1 hour, we can do just like in 5 minutes. Same like, here is the culture is that you have to give every other explanation in PowerPoint. You cannot just go and you cannot just verbally say that, okay, this is done, this is how it will get done in future. No, you have to summarize your every other discussion in PowerPoint. Now, to create this kind of PowerPoint on daily basis, it takes, at least 30 minutes, 1 hour, or let's say, 2 hours of time of every other employee. Yeah. Now, if employees are aware that, okay, there are some models, there are some good softwares available in the market who can create PowerPoint the PowerPoint slides from the document that you have, or whatever the thoughts that you have in your mind. It will create 10 slides, 8 slides in just 2 minutes. And then if you want to embed, if you want to modify, you can do that. So that is how the thing is. We have to reskill ourselves so that we can keep pace with the fastest digitalization that is coming and that is taking over the world.
Yeah.
First thing is we have to remove our fears and we have to reskill ourselves in terms of some kind of data analysis skills. Definitely we cannot learn technical skills like machine learning, large language models and also things. But at least we should have knowledge that what exactly it looks like, how it, we should have the ultimate output results, and we should have the knowledge about it. That, okay, for example, if I'm a recruiter and if my company has bought any kind of AI recruitment model, then I should have knowledge that, okay, if this output is coming, how it came.
Yeah.
At least if I would be aware about that. If any biases comes in between or if any error comes in between, at least I would have knowledge that, okay, this is not correct, this is not right. Probably the data set is having some issues and I will rectify that. So this is how, we can reskill ourselves. There are, very probably I can say friendly manner of learning these things are now. YouTube channels are there, the LinkedIn courses are there that are freely available.
Yeah.
And which can give us the basic knowledge and probably we can take from there.
Got it. Yeah. So you mentioned about biases. So have you, what kind of biases have you encountered? Are there any examples that you've seen the biases coming through AI and you've rectified it and solved it?
Okay. So the first thing I would take an example of Amazon. I think probably everyone is aware about that what happened to Amazon recruitment model. So probably in 2014 or 2013, they have created an AI model for the recruitment, like specifically for screening part, right? Now, by the time 2015 came, they have realized that it is doing the bias with the female candidates' CVs. Now, how it happened when they analyzed the whole thing, when they investigated and they get to know that exactly what happened in the data set, that the all the bunch of CVs that were coming in the first phase, that were all came through the male candidates. Now the model, because it's the self-learned model, so model learned that, okay, I have to favor the male counterparts only, and I have probably I have to eliminate the women CVs, and that is how it created a bias. And probably they tried to rectify it, but they have to eliminate the whole model actually at that time. So this is the major part of bias and discrimination that happens with the recruitment models, and it all depends upon the data that the system has been feeded and the person who has created a model. So it depends upon both the things, and that is how we have to take much of care that, okay, we are not coming into the picture in terms of any kind of biases and discrimination specifically in hiring, because otherwise it will create many of the issues and probably we will lose the good and the best candidates.
True. Yeah, that's true. Coming to like our very last question, what do you think, the work will look like in the next 5 years?
Okay. That's a very interesting question for sure. And we have already started since the Corona time, the hybrid culture and the remote culture now onwards. So definitely it will be there. The virtual teams would be established to complete the portion of the task and the whole project, I would say. Definitely virtual AI assistants will come. Right now we call it as PA, but then after, virtual AI assistants will schedule everything for us, and it will also give us some kind of advices and suggestions in terms of how we can schedule our task better, in a better way. Even, if we talk about some things like learning and guidance, so definitely AI models will come into the picture who will guide us in a better way to have a proper learning path and who can reshape our careers as well. So if we talk about the work and even, some kind of opportunities will also be there. where it will, do much of our repetitive tasks, where actually our intelligence not needed. So the some kind of meeting organizations, the schedules that we check in our calendars, that okay, I'm free at that time and I will not be free probably at that time. I will need some time, some break in between. That will totally be done by AI. So this is how I'm seeing the potential opportunities in future that will be shaped by AI.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, that concludes our podcast, and it was lovely. It were lovely, some of the loveliest interactions that I had, and it was such an everything about AI was great. Thank you so much for your time, Ritu. It was a great having you.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.